The story about the lost love reunited. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the heart of the countryside, there lived a young couple named Emily and Jack. They were deeply in love and had been together since high school. Their love was the envy of the town, and everyone knew they were meant to be together forever. As they grew older, Emily and Jack made plans for their future. They talked about getting married and starting a family. They dreamed of buying a little cottage on the outskirts of town and spending the rest of their lives together. But life had other plans for them. After finishing high school, Jack left town to pursue his dreams of becoming a writer. Emily stayed behind to take care of her family and work in the local bakery. They tried to keep in touch, but the distance and the demands of their respective lives made it difficult. As time went on, Emily and Jack grew apart. They each started dating other people, but their relationships never lasted. They both felt like something was missing, like they were meant to be with someone else. Years went by, and Emily and Jack continued on with their lives, always wondering what could have been. Then, one day, Emily was walking through town when she saw a familiar face. It was Jack, back in town for a visit. Their eyes met, and in that instant, they knew that their love was still alive. They spent the next few days catching up, laughing, and reminiscing about old times. They realized that they had both been searching for something that only the other could provide. But just as quickly as he had come back into her life, Jack had to leave again. Emily was heartbroken, but she knew that they couldn't go back to the way things were. She knew that they had to make a choice, either to try and make things work, or to let go of their lost love and move on. In the end, Emily and Jack decided to give their love another chance. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were willing to work at it. They started writing letters to each other, talking on the phone, and planning visits. They even managed to carve out time to spend together in person, despite their busy lives. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and they finally realized that they were meant to be together. They got engaged and started planning their dream wedding. Emily and Jack bought a little cottage on the outskirts of town, just like they had always talked about, and settled into a new life together. Years went by, and they had their share of ups and downs. But through it all, they knew that they had found what they had been searching for all along, a love that was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. And so, Emily and Jack started a new happy life, and that is the proof that even lost love can be found again if you're willing to work at it. As they settled into their new life together, Emily and Jack rediscovered the things that had drawn them to each other in the first place. They spent long evenings reading together, taking walks in the countryside, and cooking meals for each other. They talked about everything under the sun, from their hopes and dreams to the smallest details of their day. Despite their deep love for each other, they still had challenges to face. Jack's writing career was taking off, and he spent long hours at his desk, lost in his work. Emily, on the other hand, was struggling to find fulfillment in her job at the bakery. They had to learn how to balance their individual needs with their life together, but they were determined to make it work. One summer, they decided to take a trip together to a small cabin in the woods. It was a chance to get away from the demands of their everyday lives and focus on each other. They spent their days hiking in the woods, swimming in the lake, and reading by the fire at night. It was there that they finally decided to start a family. Emily and Jack's love only grew stronger as they prepared for the arrival of their first child. They painted the nursery together, picked out names, and talked about the kind of parents they wanted to be. When their son was born, they felt like their family was finally complete. Over the years, they faced more challenges, job changes, financial struggles, and the usual ups and downs of life. But through it all, they remained committed to each other and their family. They made time for date nights and romantic getaways, even when it felt like there wasn't enough time in the day. As they grew old together, Emily and Jack realized that their love had only deepened over the years. They had faced their share of trials and tribulations, but they had come out stronger on the other side. They were proof that even a lost love could be found again, and that it was worth fighting for. In the end, They knew that their love would endure, even after they were gone. They had built a life together that was full of love, laughter, and joy. And though they would eventually leave this world, their love would live on in the memories of those they had touched along the way. As their children grew up and started families of their own, Emily and Jack found themselves becoming grandparents. They relished the opportunity to spend time with their grandchildren, telling them stories of their own youth and passing down family traditions. One summer, they took all of their grandchildren on a road trip across the country. They visited national parks, roadside attractions, and small towns along the way. It was a chance for Emily and Jack to share their love of adventure with the next generation. As they watched their grandchildren play in the great outdoors, Emily and Jack reflected on their own journey together. They remembered the struggles they had faced, but also the joy and laughter they had shared along the way. They were grateful for every moment they had spent together, and for the family they had built. In their old age, Emily and Jack still found time for each other. They sat on the porch together, holding hands and watching the sunset. They read books to each other, sharing the stories that had always brought them closer. And they continued to support each other, through illness and hardship, just as they had done all those years ago. In the end, they knew that their love had been worth all the effort and sacrifice. They had built a life that was full of love, happiness, and adventure. And though they knew that they wouldn't live forever, they were grateful for the time they had spent together and the legacy they had created. As Emily and Jack's time on this earth came to a close, they took comfort in the knowledge that they had found what they had always been looking for, a love that was deep, abiding, and true. They knew that their love would live on, through the memories they had created and the people they had touched. And so, Emily and Jack passed away, their hands still clasped together. But even in death, their love continued to shine bright, a testament to the enduring power of lost love that had been found once again. After Emily and Jack's passing, their children and grandchildren gathered to celebrate their lives and the love they had shared. They looked through old photo albums and shared memories of their parents and grandparents. They remembered the laughter, the love, and the adventures they had shared together. As they sorted through Emily and Jack's belongings, they found a box filled with letters they had written to each other over the years. They read through them, tracing the evolution of their love from the early days of their courtship to their final days together. They were touched by the depth of feeling in those letters, and by the enduring love that had sustained their parents and grandparents throughout their lives. Emily and Jack's legacy lived on in their family. Their children and grandchildren continued to build lives filled with love, adventure, and joy. They took the lessons they had learned from their parents and grandparents and applied them to their own lives, passing on the values of love, commitment, and perseverance to the next generation. Years passed, and Emily and Jack became the stuff of family legend, the couple who had found a lost love and held onto it with all their might. Their love story became a source of inspiration for their children and grandchildren, who looked to their example whenever they faced challenges in their own relationships. And though Emily and Jack were gone, their love continued to be felt in the hearts of those who had known them. They had left behind a legacy of love that would continue to inspire and guide their family for generations to come. In the end, Emily and Jack's love had been more than just a love story, it had been a journey, filled with twists and turns, highs and lows, and a deep and abiding commitment to each other. And though their journey had come to an end, their love would continue to shine on, a testament to the enduring power of lost love that had been found once again. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing.